silly stuff happening in a courtroom
Mm.
is Miracle on 34th Street.
A Christmas
Probably
classic.
probably the most famous movie from this year. Although I wouldn't really consider it the Big Daddy because it
Mm.
kind of mid.
You think so?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess you like this movie. I thought it was like kind of lame. I
Oh
don't know.
man, I like this movie a lot. This is our second like classic Christmas movie that we're watching in like
It-
the heat of summer.
yeah. Maybe I wasn't in the right Christmas spirit when I was watching it.
Right. It's like when you have air conditioning going and you're like, "Oh god, it's so hot outside." It does this movie doesn't hit quite as hard.
Hopefully, by the time the White Christmas rolls around, we'll be closer to.
This movie is so much better than White Christmas. It's like not even close.
Oh,
But
I hadn't seen either of these before.
okay.
There's a lot of classic Christmas movies I haven't
Mm.
seen because I guess I just watch Tokyo Godfathers and Die Hard, baby.
Oh, I just have all of my, my what is it? Contrarian Christmas movies to watch. Yeah, and this was definitely a movie I watched as a kid around Christmas time. I hadn't in a really long time, and I think last year was maybe the first time I'd seen it in a good long time.
hmm
And I don't know, it's just it's so charming. It's great.
There are parts of this movie that are charming and nice, and I like them. I think the Santa's very good in this movie. I think as a film, I don't think it works that well. I think it's a little boring. I think that like the acting is bad. I think the product placement is like really weird. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if we've seen like conspicuous product placement in one of our movies before, but like this just everybody talking about like, oh, we love Macy's, we love Macy's department store. It feels
It
weird.
feels weird. It feels very weird. Although it is like there, as far as I can tell, there's no like direct product placement in this movie. It is just sort of
Right, it's
like
co-branding, I guess.
right. Which I did wonder about. Like, was this movie like written by Macy's or like what was Macy's
I know.
stake
Yeah,
in
me
this?
too. I couldn't find
Because
that.
it is so incredibly Macy's centric. But then and right because there's a character who is Mr. Macy, and I don't know if that is. I certainly don't think it's the actual guy that owned Macy's, but then it's sort of like it's a character based on him. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I agree that it is weird.
Yeah. There is like it kind of I mean almost in a way of sort of like whatever the word is, boosting up Macy's even more. They do kind of name drop another department store which I which was another big department store that I had never heard of before because it went out of business like 5 years before I was
Mm.
born. What was that department store? It was
What was it? Gelson's, something like that.
Gimbals.
Gimbals.
Gimbals was a department store. They also had a Thanksgiving Day parade. They had one before
Oh,
Macy's.
oh, interesting, interesting.
But yeah, this is like, I don't know. This is like a movie that's just like we love Walmart. Like isn't it great to work at Walmart? Hopefully Mr. Walton will approve of this. Wow, we're really loving how generous Walmart is. And look, they're even getting along with Mr. Target. It's like I don't know. I'll stop complaining soon. I
No,
just
because like
let's
that is, I think on one hand, this movie does feel like weirdly kind of corporate because of all that stuff,
it
and
has
at
an
this,
incredibly corporate vision of Christmas.
yeah, but at the same time, it is so much about how like Christmas shouldn't be materialistic, and like you're right, it has, it's like philosophically kind of trying to say like Christmas is about all this other stuff, and yet it does feel like it is kind of seated in this like hooray for Macy's. Isn't Macy's wonderful?
Yeah, there's a quote from the movie. Someone says, "A lot of bad isms in this world, but one of the worst ones is commercialism." I think Santa says that,
Hmm.
which is pretty rich for Santa to say.
Well, that's one thing I like about the characterization of Santa in this is that he is like the
Yes.
idealist Santa, where it's like this is how we would want Santa to be, who is
Mhm.
like smarter than everyone else, and who is like genuinely just believes in like doing good for its own sake.
Yes. This
Um,
movie is about, I mean, like a Capper movie, it's a movie about a dude who's too good and earnest to live in New York City, you
right.
know?
But I like, and in this, he is also like he is a magical creature, basically, right? Like he is a supernatural being. I feel like the movie is vague enough about it where there's definitely a read of this movie where Chris Kringle is just a delusional man who's really
Yeah,
nice. But I think the movie does put enough emphasis on the fact that there are too many weird coincidences and that he is like no one could possibly be this good unless he's
right.
actually the real Santa Claus.
Unless your delusion really did compel you to, like, keep abreast of what toys are in stock in
Mm,
which, toy stores all across New York
yeah.
City.
Also, it
Yeah.
also is like a Frank Capra movie in that it has all of that great like wholesomeness, and it also is like very pro. Sometimes you just gotta smack somebody upside the head to teach them a lesson.
Even if you're Santa, yeah.
Like Santa is like right the sweetest, most like generous person. He's like superhumanly sweet, and then he meets this crummy psychiatrist who is like super insecure and is just doling out uh doling out what like just like problems to people like, oh, you have this complex, you have this complex, and he's like, you need to shut up, and he smacks him with his cane, and the movie is like very treats that as like he is doing good, like this is Santa's been pushed too far, and he's he's not gonna go full
It's not good behavior.
yeah. He doesn't go full Detective Crashmore on him, but
I see we were, both referencing the same "I think you should leave" sketch from different angles at the
different
same
angles. Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, of course, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I think this movie does get so much out of just like facial expressions. Like they're like faces in this movie feel like special effects at times where I'm just like
That's nice.
there's so much that happens in this movie that is just people's reactions or like facial expressions. I mean,
Mhm.
particularly Edmund Gwen as Chris Kringle.
Yeah.
Great. The best
He's
casting.
he's great. He's incredible in it. Yeah, I think he's great.
And then I also
I
think
think Maureen O'Hara kinda sucks in this movie.
I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely not the main draw. I think Natalie Wood is very good in this movie, much like Santa Claus is like the just through facial expressions alone does so much. She has the most perfect like skeptical child face.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
so
yeah.
often in this movie, someone's like, "Oh, Santa's got to go to the North Pole," but and we're like, "Oh, this thing, oh, Jack and the Beanstalk, they were giants," and she just looks at them like, "How stupid do you think I am?" Like she's just so, and it's also funny. Like I've seen that look on children.
Uh-huh.
Like I've met a lot of children that have given that look, and it's like it's so genuine in this movie. Of like that is exactly how a child looks. Where you're like, "You think I'm dumb, don't you?"
Yeah. Children should be more respected. They should be treated more seriously, and that is, evidence for that is when kids give you that look. It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking down to this person."
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I like this movie's just kind of overall philosophy of sort of like just like believe in stuff. Come on, it's fun. Like it doesn't feel it doesn't really there is talk of like faith in this movie, but it doesn't not it never feels explicitly Christian even though it is a Christmas movie. At least my takeaway from it, maybe this is, somewhat just my own personality projecting onto it. It's like this is a movie about like believing in the power of imagination, which I think is something that I think very highly of. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we need to get into this whole conversation, but like I do think that like it's sometimes hard to escape the lens that I established for myself as an edgy asshole 14-year-old atheist, right? Uh like I've learned to be more chill about stuff, but like there isn't an angle toward basically every Christmas movie of like their thing is just like you gotta believe. It's all
Mm,
about believing. Like you gotta believe in things that even if you don't know they're there. That's what faith is, you know. And it's like, okay, I could see the relationship, right? It's like
Mm.
you believe in Santa, like believing in Santa and having your innocence and believing in Santa is a metaphor for believing in God, which you're allowed to do.
Yeah.
But like I think that like it's not a very flattering comparison, I think, you know, because because everyone knows that Santa's not real.
Right, and
uh
this movie also gets into the kind of weird, it never directly contradicts it, I guess, that it I feel like this movie overall is positing that Santa is real and that Kris Kringle is the real Santa
yeah.
Claus.
I like
But
that it operates in that
it
kind of
right,
middle zone
it
though,
never
yeah.
outright confirms or denies that. And I do like how it does kind of keep the audience in that same sort of thing of like, you can believe it if you want to.
Right. It's like either the Santa Claus retired to Long Island, or or he is or he is a very 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 nice crazy guy.
Yeah.
Which that's great. I would love that. I'd love that too. You know, they're both fun
The
options.
movie is also kind of coming out of a place of like, if this guy believes himself to be Santa Claus and is doing all of the things that Santa Claus does, which is to say like talking to
Hmm.
children and like bringing them hope and giving gifts, then like who's to say that that isn't real? Like,
The U.S. Postal Service agrees.
right? Yeah. I also just kind of love how for like, I don't know, half an hour, for like a third of this movie, it's a courtroom drama about proving the existence of Santa Claus, which is just a fun premise, I think.
It is a fun. It's a silly premise. I think it. I mean, I think it wears out its welcome a little bit, but like it's fun that they chose to do that and to go all the way with that.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, like dumping the letters to Santa on the desk of
Yeah.
the judge is an iconic scene for sure.
Mm. Yeah. This movie does feel is a very uncynical movie.
Hmm.
That I do think, right, if we're coming at it as an edge lord or whatever. Sorry, I don't mean to be as rude as I am. But it is like I thought about that while watching it. It is like, because there's parts of this movie where I'm like, like this would never happen, obviously. Like the world is way too cynical for like anything in this movie to actually occur. But
Yeah,
I kind of like how the movie is just like, just fucking go with it, man. Like, just let something be nice for once. And
I
like
think.
that's kind of the messaging of it too, is just sort of like just try to like hold your cynicism back a little bit.
Mhm.
And I
Which yeah, it
really support that.
yeah. I mean, you know, it feels like it's sentimental in almost along the same avenues as a Capra movie,
It
but
does feel very Capra-esque, yeah.
it's interesting, like, you know, putting this in dialogue with the Capra movie, Capra Christmas movie that we watched
Right.
last year,
Yeah.
right? One of the more surprising things about It's a Wonderful Life is the darkness in it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like honestly darker than like, you know, Mr. Deeds or Mr. Smith Goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
Washington or
For
something like
sure.
that. And it's like Capra's take on Christmas like is different from this movie. They're both sentimental, but like it has this like darkness that this movie. I mean, this movie is probably more for kids
Yeah.
than anything else. But yeah, I mean, I think so much of that you're talking about really rests on Santa's shoulders because he is because that actor is he sells it so well,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can tell that he's really Santa because his beard is real.
Mhm. Yeah. It's the
That's
only way you can tell. You were mentioning how like you don't think Maureen O'Hara's that great in this movie. I think that might somewhat have to do with the way that her character is written, which is very like career single mom who works too much. Like, is feels like a kind of a stock character, I guess. Maybe wasn't as much in 1947,
It's
but
like a lifetime movie character.
yeah, a little bit. I think this movie does sort of like it has Lifetime movie vibes occasionally. Like, there's a lot of her dialogue, especially in conversation with Mr. Gailey, who's the lawyer defending Santa Claus, is like, she's sort of like, you have to be realistic. Like this, she says she at one point accuses him of going on an idealistic binge, which is a great phrase. His sort of retort to that is like, she's saying like, "Oh, you can't just be focusing on all these intangible things. You need to be realistic. You have to be like, you know." And he's like, "Intangible stuff matters too." And that's another thing that I think just resonates with me in particular. I think that like it gets at something that I think is like worth saying, I guess.
Hmm.
And then then the end is so nice. I like the end.
Yeah. Way in the beginning, this movie starts at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and they shot this actually during the
Yeah.
parade. They only like could do like like one take of each thing because they were like, okay, like we got to do this right now. And so that's kind of interesting. I was recently, unrelated to this movie, I've recently been kind of looking through. I've recently been looking through the Macy's Parade wiki,
As you do.
and as people like me do, they filmed this during the 1946 Macy's Parade. There were some balloons in the Macy's Parade: a pilgrim, a panda, an ice cream cone, a baseball player, and a candy cane. And there was a Popeye and olive oil float, as well as a Donald
Ooh.
Duck one. This
Did
is a
anyone get sewn
very
into the pants?
reference number two. This is a very exhaustive wiki, which about a very specific thing, which I really enjoy. But the reason, I don't even remember how I found myself on this wiki, but when I did, I was looking through like a list of all balloons at the Macy's parade, and now it's stuff like Goku or whatever. But like some of the one of the earliest ones was another comic book character, which I had never heard of, called Boob McNutt. Uh,
Oh dear. What a name.
and Boob McNutt is a character from a Rube Goldberg comic strip, like a comic strip by Rube Goldberg.
Huh.
And yes, so there was a balloon featuring Boob McNutt, which is an incredible name, I gotta say. He was in the 1930 Macy's parade.
Wow. Boob
I just felt
McNutt.
like I needed to throw that in there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, I did not know about Boob McNutt before today, and now I do. So
We've got to educate ourselves. We got to do a 1 week 1 year for old timey comic strips. Like uh we've got Foxy Grandpa, we've got Little
mm.
Nemo. We got to get Boob McNutt in
That
there.
does that also does remind me like uh that like Rube Goldberg was a guy that
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you know, because I think of like the Machine, which also like is in Tweety
oh
Puss.
yeah,
What is it called? What was the
Tweety
cartoon?
Puss. Yeah, Tweety Puss.
Um, right, there was a Rube Goldberg
Tweety Pie.
machine
Yes.
in that short.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that name had been attached to that concept at that point, but
What a rube. What a maroon.
a maroon cartoon. Yeah, American on 34th Street. I like it. I think it is sweet and fun.
And everybody get mad at me in the comments for being annoying and not liking it.
You're
I
allowed not,
like I
you're allowed not to like it.
I did, I liked it well enough. I think it's something to throw on TV during Christmas, and
Yeah,
Santa's really great in it.
it is a great movie just to have, you know, on in the background during a Christmas gathering, I will say.